had to put Spider-Man on there.
Yes, because he's amazing and beautiful.
Hey, nerds! And welcome to The Gunner. My name is Steve-O. This is the 11th episode of the second season of The Gunners podcast. Join me today, probably most likely to be... Who's your Marvel guy? I'm going to say Falcon.
What?
You strike me as a Falcon.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
cool.
could see that.
Good for you.
I can see
Thank
Falcon.
you.
He's kind of like, he's confident, he's kind of wiry,
it's not
you
a
can
bad thing.
fly through the air,
Yeah.
like, shoot the shit out of people,
I mean, I'll take it.
a little tactical.
Who would you say you are?
I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Yeah, our resident Falcon is Cal. Our Scarlet Witch,
Thank you.
Lauren,
I'll take
for
that.
sure.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Our who do you claim, Bree?
I don't know, whoever. I'm chilling.
She loves...
The Bucky to Lauren's Cap?
Oh, I could see that. The opposite.
Or are you the Bucky? You're a
I'm
Lauren
def-
Bucky.
The offense.
I was gonna say because Bree's so pure and innocent and Bucky's like a badass, but whatever.
And
Not that Bree's not badass.
I don't know, one of those guys that gets killed early on.
Oh.
What's his name? Loki.
Oh.
You're not
I would see you more
mischievous.
like-
You're
I'm not mischievous. I'm probably...
Bruce Banner.
I say-
What? I would put you at
No, I'm a
No,
Star-Lord.
he's not a... No. You're more like the...
I want to be Drax.
I knew it.
Yes.
Shrek.
Oh my god, he is my favorite.
I'd say he's
Yeah.
more like the raccoon.
I could be
you're
Rocket.
Rocket?
I could be Rocket. Rocket's actually pretty close.
Or I could be Mantis,
your group?
Total Peter Parker.
I
Says
could
Robotical
say-
Nick.
feel
For you, Nick, or for me? Because Spider-Man was actually my backup behind
I'd say I could do...
Star-Lord.
I'd be behind...
You could probably do
If I
Spider-Man.
couldn't be Scarlet Witch, I would want to, I think it's Nefertiti,
Uh-huh.
the second hand to Black Panther,
Oh, yeah.
right? And in Nefertiti,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'd totally be
She's
Batman.
Stone Cold. I could see you being... Yeah.
I'd
My
shave
sisters
head.
say
For
I'm
sure.
like his sister.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Three.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. Stevie's Yondu. Thank you, Kim, guys. Oh, my gosh. We're not going to do what you've been playing this week, so we have way too much shit to talk about. So... I do want to say a quick bit of news that was just announced earlier today. So
You're going green.
the Fortnite map, no, not again. The Fortnite map has changed. The meteors have hit,
Yes.
and there are craters now.
I waited for that. I was
And-
up for season 4.
There's superpowers to be attained on the map, where you can grab them and like run fast and jump high and do crazy shit. But VCR hosting, thank you for the host. And yeah, that's right. We found a place for that Get Swifty place because we have a new sub alert. We found a place for the Red 6 Get Swifty. Yes, on top of that, on top of the map changes in Fortnite Season 4, starting tomorrow, you can play a version of the game with the Infinity Gauntlet in it and become Thanos. And do what? I don't fucking know. I don't know.
At this point,
Wow.
might as well,
Look
'cause
at,
he fucking killed everybody.
look at Fortnite. Just...
Hey,
Who cares?
you gotta give them credit. They will try fucking anything.
What about the new map for PUBG?
We don't
wanna
have
bring
it
that
yet.
one up?
We don't have it
Oh,
yet.
well, we have it for PC. You have a PC,
Right.
Steven, so you do have it.
Well, yeah.
But you choose not to.
If I want to play
See,
it at
it's
20
just-
frames per second,
So
I could
anyway,
play.
maybe we should talk about
Maybe
the Avengers.
I could play it then. But so being Thanos in Fortnite, I think is pretty cool. I like that they do random crazy wag shit, and that's a reason for me to have both games. Hey, Mark, you're back. Can't even get audio today. That 1.5 gigabyte update Microsoft pushed out last week is still killing our network on overnights. We'll watch the VOD. That's okay, bud. We love you. And,
buddy.
I'm going to type that in. That's okay, bud. We love you.
Translation.
Just like that. Here we go. So, we're going to jump in. What are you doing?
Season control.
You don't know how to operate the cameras.
Control.
Calvin. So like, I'm trying to be like really cool, like, oh, this Calvin, he's a crazy guy. But in the back of my head, I'm like, someone is taking control of the podcast.
Slowly dying.
What do I do? Here, I'm just gonna snag that back from you, real nice and calm, so that I can do stuff like this, and I can change the
hello.
cameras
That's
and
right.
go to Lauren and Bree, and then
That
come
one?
back to everybody. That's how that works. So we're gonna start nice and easy, and then we'll start to get nitpicky.
Get dig.
What did you think of Avengers: Infinity War? Brie.
For a Marvel movie, it was good.
Okay.
I liked it. It was decent. and please don't shun me for this, but I haven't seen any of the other ones. So it was kind of, but from a good point of view, though, it was nice to solely judge that movie on itself.
On its own merits.
Like, not like, oh yeah, I know Black Panther and I saw the other ones, like, they should be doing this, or like, why are they doing this?
So that's
but, like,
actually pretty interesting.
it was kind of good because I've solely watched it as the like third Avengers.
So wait,
You haven't seen
you haven't
anything?
seen any of the other Marvel, not Spider-Man.
No, I've seen everything, but Avengers 1, the other one, the second one.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
I didn't see Thor or Black Panther.
So you haven't seen anything.
Any of the Thors?
Anything
None of them.
No, I've seen all the Thors. I didn't see Thor Ragnarok.
So
Okay,
anything
yeah.
newer than the second Avengers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of
I
them.
just want to just jump off a bridge. How?
But
Which bridge and why?
I'm not
He's overwhelmed because she hasn't seen anything.
Right.
Oh.
which
I think that is like it's
That's
so
a purist idea.
yeah, and I really like it. So I'm glad that you have that perspective because there's going to be talking about two things here. First of all, and Game Guy does mention it in the chat, and I should probably I've said I'm going to put this everywhere, but spoiler truck a coming, spoiler train a coming. It's about to hit you.
Woo woo.
Game Guy says top 4 for him.
Yep, Ragnarok.
Cool. He said Ragnarok was top 4, not Infinity War. Okay.
Yep.
So, this film is created as the culmination of a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
And so, the perspective of not having seen those movies is interesting. But also, I want to ask you guys, because this was originally announced as part 1 of 2,
Which it is.
but since then, Disney has said, yes, they do link to each other, but we removed the part 1 from the film because the second part of Infinity War is really going to be its own movie. You didn't see half of one movie, you know?
Yeah.
You saw a full movie, and then there will be a sequel. So that's what they're trying to stress. So knowing that, can we review this movie on its own merits? Or do we have to review it in the context of all the other movies and a movie that has yet to come we know nothing about?
So first off, let's stick with your original question. Did we like the movie or dislike the movie? That was your original question.
Yes.
Right. So myself,
Jack Nine Cat, yes, we mentioned that at the top. Very good.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a well-done Marvel movie. I thought lots of great tie-ins. Okay. I thought there was great acting in it, and I thought it was well done. So that's my basic opinion, and we'll get to your other questions here in a moment. Mm-hmm. So, Lauren?
Everybody's anticipating my answer. In comparison to the others, I think that acting was very well done. I think that me personally, I would have preferred an extra 30 minutes to have some kind of hope, because my personal opinion, this is part 1. Mm-hmm. I was totally fine with that, but if I had 30 more minutes just to see the face of somebody who is going to try and fix it rather than showing us the defeat of our living remains, I'd have been much happier.
But so
this is, to me, this is the...
So my question to you, based on that answer, did you stay and watch everything?
I did.
So you don't understand?
I do.
Okay, so then you did get hope.
No. Because, this is the exact reason I got upset. Because for me, seeing the face, seeing a physical person, not the symbol,
and
not the colors.
Not a call to someone, but the arrival of someone is what you wanted to see.
And for me, we've seen in the past that beepers, telephones, communication of that type doesn't always work. Mm-hmm. And so for me, not seeing a face who got that signal is soul crushing for me, because it's like seeing The Pursuit of Happiness and not reading that caption in the end. You're not getting that hopefulness of there's going to be a second movie and all this can be reversed. There's not going to be, and for me, that soul crushing, that feeling of awfulness, of spoiler, seeing half the team of all the team die is gut-wrenching and terrible for me.
So you didn't think it was a poorly I'm going to try and rephrase it. Not a poorly constructed movie.
Right.
You hated the fact that everything you love is destroyed, and based on this one movie,
there's nothing to look forward to for me. I know there is because
there is logically speaking, but just from a film emotional standpoint, you just got wrecked and then
I got wrecked.
Okay, so emotions.
It's like I fucking hate you and you walk.
So let's cut out part of. I'm respecting your opinion on this. Yeah. Let's cut out part of it and say on a film perspective. On a basic film perspective, what did you think of the movie?
Did you think it was a well-made movie?
Did you think it was a well-made movie? Script,
it's
acting,
50-50.
Story.
It is 50-50, and that's why my point is still the same.
So if you had thought that it was a better constructed movie, not that it was bad, but if it had been a better constructed movie, you would have.
Here's my explanation for it. Because I agree with you. The acting was very well done. You had very intricate parts that worked well together. But for me, there were too many loose ends throughout the story. So, I hate to say it, Hulk was majority of that. So, I mean, you kind of get a PTSD, erectile dysfunction thing, because Hulk won't come out.
Right.
So Hulk was scared. Hulk was scared. Hulk was horrified of Thanos, so he ran away. Hulk was beaten to tar for the first time in his life, and he didn't want to fight that and lose again, so he remissed himself.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that.
He was horrified.
But no, and I would agree with that, except it was just Thanos that he was afraid of. He shouldn't have been afraid of the two goons who were clearly under Thanos.
Thanos' sons and daughters.
But still, like the big sons.
That would have been a little bit more effective and a little more clear if he had fought early on, but then when Thanos appears, he goes away. That would have been. I would have preferred that.
He started with the sons, and then the sons beat him to Thanos, and then Thanos wrecked him like it showed. Yeah. I feel like that would have been better conveyed.
I'm gonna jump into chat real quick, because I want to get these guys in here. Gaming Candy Bar says loved it. It's hard to rate it as a movie though. It's more of an event. That's an interesting comment. And Jack and Cat, you are welcome here. Welcome to the gutter. Absolutely welcome. Joseph, good to see you. Thank you for the resub earlier today. And Gaming Candy Bar says this was Thanos movie, which I don't disagree with. Sort of in the way that the second Dark Knight film was not a Batman movie, it was a Joker movie, right? Yeah. I just want a portal to open up and come out of the Justice League to help them clean up all the shit. This is Game Guy. That's good. And Jack and Cat says, by destroying everything everyone thinks, oh my god, everything is gone, creating a massive cliffhanger. Plus, if you've ever heard of power creep or sequel creep, this shows this. So, I thought, when I went to the movie, I was ready for it to suck. Not to be heartbroken.
No.
I was ready for it to be bad, because it was going to be too long and too bloated, and there's too many characters. It's impossible for the directors of Yumi and Dupree to make this a good movie.
And the editors. That's what made that fucking movie.
What?
The editing.
The editing. Okay, so yeah. I was wrong, I think. I was wrong. It's not that there's nothing to complain about in this movie, but the things that I was going to complain about were not there. The way that they edited and wove the story together, it was well paced.
The script was hilarious.
I think I would have liked the story a little bit more if they tied together. And obviously, I agree with you guys. There's too many characters to really do what I'm asking. Because, like, Hulk gets left in the wind. I know Hawkeye and Ant-Man are technically at home to protect their families and things like that. So, initially, when the second Ant-Man comes out, we're going to see what happens. But at the same time, like, in movie, Natalie, Scarlet Witch, Vision, everything that happens supposedly happens for a reason, but we don't get to end those ties where some of them do die. And for me, not getting that resolution, even for the characters who are gone, is just so crushing for me.
Gaming Candy Bar says my complaint is the jokes were bad, and then I feel the opposite. I feel like that the humor in the movie was spot on.
I thought the script was phenomenal. I thought, especially with all of the Thor things, like Thor and like the Rab calling him Rabbit,
and we have different directors utilizing characters that have been used by other directors. So like James Gunn's babies are the Guardians of the Galaxy, and now someone else is directing them. But I feel like they got it. Like a lot of them helped produce the film, so I'm sure there was crosstalk. But Thor is funny because he shifted a little bit in tone from in the first film, he's very sort of grand and majestic and kind of funny in that he's like, bring me another, and smashes the thing, you know what I mean?
I actually
But
read
he's
something
more
on
goofy and sort of punk rock in Ragnarok. But in this movie, he's sort of more like old Thor. He still makes jokes, but he's more serious now.
He's King Thor.
Right.
He is more majestic. I think he's like, yeah, I speak fucking weird.
Well, I hate to...
If you bookend this with Ragnarok, Thor, it shifts. His personality shifts a little bit.
I hate to break the fourth wall on that one, but like after Ragnarok,
Yep.
Chris Hemsworth actually said, I'm getting bored. And that's why Ragnarok was supposed to be my fun Thor movie. But now with Infinity War, he says he got to put together some of the things with the directors, and that's why it was a little more fun, but a little serious.
I guess it was like more of a blend of old Thor and new Thor was what Infinity War was.
Keep being bored.
Sure, that makes sense. Hey Trex, she says Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Evans. Yep. The Holy Chris Trinity.
I was all about Tom Holland.
Oh, I was about to say.
You're Tom Holland?
Tom Holland for sure.
The moment after he had that new suit and it popped out, I was like, this is what I needed. I'm ready for that game now. Like, I was so ready. I was like, yes.
After Tom Hiddleston, I was like, okay, I guess I gotta shift to Tom Holland.
And I don't know. I thought the movie was decent. I haven't seen any of the other ones, like I said before, but I think there were characters for me that were completely unnecessary. But I understand that they were necessary on a certain aspect, like Captain America and like Black Widow. Like, why were they there? Like, they were so irrelevant to me.
That's
and then like
that's a pretty good point.
Like, to me, like they really weren't even needed to be there.
They were there for the fight.
Well,
right,
yeah,
yes, but they were filler. They were fight filler.
From a person who's never really like seen, like I haven't seen the newer ones, like. They were irrelevant to me.
Well, there's no intrigue with them. They were there to participate.
And they really didn't even want them there. Like, it was just kind of weird.
I disagree. And I want to disagree with you because when Civil War came out, that made Captain America, Scarlet Witch, right?
Civil War?
Or whatever it is. I can't.
Is that the one that
Or are you talking about Winter Soldier?
Not Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Civil War.
Where Captain America became an enemy.
Yeah.
Those four became enemies, and all of a sudden, they can't get hold of Iron Man, who's supposed to be in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Who is the lead person, and they're like, oh, we can't get hold of him, so you want to know what? The captain comes in and has to take control because he is a hero, and he will take that control.
And I don't have anything against Captain America.
That's why I didn't feel like he was filler.
Feel like
that's when the government fucks up.
Right, but they have a moment of like, you're supposed to arrest these people, but if you
do it, they're not going to be able to.
If you cut out Cap, Black Widow, and Falcon,
would still be the same.
The story would be the same. The only thing that you have to tweak at all is
how would they get there? How would they just show up?
Well,
Why would they be there without talking to?
Well, yeah,
Black
like
Panther,
I knew, like
without making that
they
happen.
had to be there,
right? They had to. They had to create a couple things, but they didn't. There was no consequence.
It was just like, we have to put them in this movie,
right?
You know what I mean? And from a person who haven't seen the most recent ones, they were not my favorite part of that movie. Like, my favorite part was everything that involved Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Peter. Yeah. And I didn't think the Doctor Strange movie was good at all.
So this is Game of Thronesy, in which they sort of take 3 or 4 different movies and they weave them through. So which of the movies was your favorite? Yours was.
Mine was Iron Man, Peter, and Doctor Strange.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
But, because I didn't like Doctor Strange. I didn't think that movie did him justice at all. The only cool part was when he went on his trip to figure out who he was or whatever. But, like, that movie overall to me was bad. Like, it wasn't good. I was boring. But this movie showed his worth to me. Yeah. Like, especially, and people didn't like Homecoming, but now a lot of people like Peter.
I love Homecoming.
But there's a lot of people I know who didn't like it.
Well, they were bad
and
people.
then, and then personally,
reevaluate themselves in the mirror every morning.
Well, yeah, but there's very strong Marvel fans. But for me, I fell off of Marvel. They weren't doing well to me, in my opinion. Like, the movies weren't that great, so that's why I stopped watching them. But, like, this one kind of brought it back. Like, now I'm kind of forced to go see Captain Marvel and then the second Avengers movie. Like, I have to now.
The thing that I really liked about this film, and this is something that Game Guy mentioned earlier. Game Guy said they tried really hard to make Thanos a decent guy, and I'm going to argue with that a little bit. Not a decent guy, but a dimensional guy. Like multiple layers, right? And so...
because at some point you kind of do feel bad for him. Like, everyone's like, you don't love anybody. Like, you hate the whole universe. I'm like, okay, wait. So, like, he loved Gamora, his fake daughter, and had to murder her. And it's like...
They seem to indicate that he really doesn't like what he has to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get any pleasure from it. He just feels like he has to do it.
Yeah.
And especially to bring in a dimensional villain. They've tried doing this in multiple movies. And so the whole thing with villains is you're trying to connect with them and see from their perspective. And that's what they're trying to do, especially with Gamora. Like, after he sacrifices her to live the life he's supposed to live.
Because now he doesn't want to go back.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when your parents grow up and you're like, okay, they're going to do them now. Like, we got to let them do them. Like, that's pretty much what it was. And I just thought it was weird how they didn't ever explain his full purpose. Like, how they didn't explain, like, he really was doing it for, like, a woman, like, for Lady Death.
Well,
and I just thought that was kind of weird.
So there's that, and actually when we get to the nitpicky portion, we're gonna pick at that. But I loved that I didn't agree with Thanos, but I understood him.
Yeah,
and
that's how I felt in the same
is something that Marvel's getting better at, because a lot of even my favorite Marvel movie is the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, and that villain is garbage. He's just religious killing maniac.
Brothers? Like, wasn't that just a line of brothers? It was like Thanos.
I don't think what was his fucking name in Guardians?
He's just trying to help.
The Kree overlook. I can't remember his name. Shit.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I don't think they were Ronan the Destroyer. Thank you. And thank you, Jonathan and Heath. Appreciate it. Ronan was there, but even then, Ronan was not the worst villain in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But Killmonger was fucking awesome. I'm like, shit, he's kind of right. And then Thanos is like, I don't agree with him, but I get
see
it.
Where he's coming from.
So anyway,
with this movie, like I think Gamebot mentioned earlier, it is more of a Thanos movie in that aspect.
That was a Heath mentioned.
It's more of a Thanos movie, and his idea when it came through the movie is that he said and did what he was going to do, and that was the movie, and that's what I loved most about it, is that it was very direct.
So we'll give you the very basic plot synopsis of the film. Thanos has to find all the gems, put them in his gauntlet, and he has control of literally everything, reality, time, all of the shit.
And he said he was going to snap his fingers and watch the sunset.
And
that's exactly what
everybody goes around trying to stop him, and they don't. And the spoiler here is that Thanos wins. He snaps his fingers, presumably half of everyone on Earth dies. Or everyone in the universe. Half of everyone in the universe dies.
And to me,
half of our teams.
To me,
right.
Plural.
Except, can we say the Guardians got fucked in a half, right?
For sure.
Not half the Guardians. Rocket's the only one left.
Yes.
Okay, I will solely defend the Guardians, though. Like, I don't feel... Like, everyone was dissing on Quill, but I'm just saying, like, when the love of your life tells you that she loves you for the first time, and then you finally kiss for your first time, and then her dad just comes and, like, murders her, I don't blame him. I would have hesitated, too. Like, that's awful.
Can we please talk about how Groot is worthy? Please. For like 10 minutes.
He is so cute. I enjoy that, too, yeah.
Especially, like, as a teenager, for him to be like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking help. And not only does he help, but he becomes part of the freaking
become part of Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, so does that mean Groot's worthy? And so Chris and Peter,
because he was able to lift it. I
but
see what you're saying.
Not only was he able to lift it, but he sacrificed part of himself to become.
Well, that wasn't part of the Stormbringer, right?
Yes, it was.
No. I mean,
he was the handle.
The worthiness was only to Mjolnir because it was related to the Ascendant, like the...
I liked my idea better.
I do like your idea, though. I think that's pretty cool.
Stormbringer actually is wielded normally by somebody else.
That's true.
Okay, so let's start going through.
I'm sad now, but it's fine because this whole movie was sad for me.
Here are some issues. Thanos' plan. Okay? He wants to... he's been going world to world, killing half the population. Does he enslave them after that, or does he leave them be after half of them are dead?
He leaves them be.
Okay, he leaves them be, right?
He expects them to make up for themselves.
So he's like, fuck, this is a lot of work. If I get all the stones, this be, like, I could knock this out in an afternoon.
He can retire.
And I can retire.
Essentially.
So he gets... And the reason that he wants to kill half of people is not because he's a genocidal maniac, necessarily.
He wants them to better themselves.
No, he wants them to live in not a life of... as it showed in the story, that the way he grew up, the way he lived, is that he was living in a state of overpopulation. So in that state of overpopulation, he told the people he was with that if we don't eventually start either culling the
culling the herd.
Thank you. Culling the herd, then bad things are happen. Everything's going to fail. All the resources are going to be losing. We will die. So bad things will happen.
So
it was resource-based, right?
And it's all planet and resource-based.
His planet died.
So his planet died.
And the same thing, he said the same thing with Gamora. Like, he was like, your people were going hungry. Like, they were starving.
And he was doing it so people... So he's doing it so people aren't going to starve. So he's not... It's not genocide. He wants people to live happily.
He's doing the better for all versus the fewer type deal.
So this is my question then. If he gets the gauntlet and his motives are completely altruistic in his mind, why doesn't he just double resources instead of killing half the population?
Because he can't make resources with the gauntlet.
Yeah, he can. He has time and reality. He can do it literally. He can do literally whatever he wants.
He can move time back and forth. He can't make something with it.
Can he with the Soul Stone?
Soul Stone is for...
I was under the impression the gauntlet was literal unlimited power.
I don't think
it was that way too, but
I don't believe he can do. I don't believe you can make resources with it.
Okay, so as we go through, let's play a game.
And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, so let's play the game that we played with Last Jedi called Explanation or Justification.
No.
Is that an explanation for why he, because he can't, because the film doesn't address it, or is there a part of him that actually does kind of enjoy killing people?
No.
And that's it, because I don't think you can have it both ways.
The way that they played Thanos, it was, to me, it was not in the aspect of he enjoyed killing people. He just wanted people to live happily. And he wanted to make it so people could live happily, even if it is taking away half the amount. So it's like an easier way for resources to be used and for regrowth.
So your argument is that he can't...
But he's doing it for the better.
But you're saying that he can't create something out of nothing with a completed Infinity Gauntlet?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's an infinite power.
I think that is wrong. I think that's not right.
I think it started out that way, but then, like I said before, Lady Death comes in,
right?
And then he says I love you so much, let me prove to you how much I love you, and let me kill a bunch of people. You know what I mean?
Well, in the first Avengers, that's the last line of the stinger of the first Avengers film.
Yeah.
Is, if you go fight the Avengers, you'd be courting Lady Death. And he sort of smiles. That was the first time we saw Thanos. And Lady Death has since been completely abandoned.
Yeah.
They killed her off. Lady Death, Thor's sister.
No, that's Hell.
That's Hela.
Lady Death, Mistress Death is completely different.
Lady Death is sort of like the overarching sort of really death, Grim Reaper of the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
As different.
I'm just... Go ahead.
Did they say, they didn't say Lady Death, they just said is to court death? Okay, yeah. Yes. Excuse me. Thank you, Jonathan. You've looked at it recently. Hey, Wywolf!
I would also think that just saying death, it would be almost implied. It would be like a tip to the.
It was a tip to Lady Death. They leave it so that they can literally go, any direction with it because it's big enough.
So they don't necessarily have to bring her, but they can.
Okay, so Thanos' plan was my first little thing, but Cal says no problem, doesn't work that way.
I would say it's unlimited power, like Bree said. I personally would think the Soul Stone and the Mind Stone would at least either A, be able to create resources out of nothing, or B, have every human mind on the planet, or every species on the planet of any kind would be able to be like, oh, my body is no longer hungry, and so all my organs are working and everything, because he can, with the Infinity Gauntlet, do that kind of work.
But we can say, at least in the movie, the Infinity Gauntlet rules are vague then, yeah?
Very vague, so.
Right?
They are, yeah.
Okay. And that's a storyteller's, that's the screen of the storyteller is, we're going to make it vague so we can make it be whatever we need it to be as we go forward.
Yeah.
From what I'm reading, it's power, by the way. It's infinite power. Mm-hmm. Not really infinite everything, just power. Because you're controlling time.
I feel like if you can snap people out of existence, you should be able to snap something into existence.
That would be my assumption.
Well, you can bring them back, but not resources.
Without actual
minds and bodies.
Without actual proof, it's still in there.
So it can create a human, but it can't create bread.
But they're doing time, right? They can reverse time and fast forward time. can't really make bread.
They're control forces. They represent, not create more of them. Same.
Yeah, I think I just think I personally just think that's wrong. I think he could have, but
at the same time, that's why he's a villain.
I get you.
And on top of that, even if it was available, I think Thanos would be like, that would still take too long. It would take too much of my time.
Right.
So snapping just makes it all easier for me.
Well, you know, he could, if he had that ability, he could snap all the shit into existence. Yeah. What I would have liked from the film then, let's assume Sam and Calvin are right, is for Stark to say, like, you know, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? And he says, this is why, because of resources. Stark goes, then use your power to make the resources. And he says, I can't make something from nothing. I can only control what's there.
That would make sense.
Perfect. Yeah. Whole problem solved for me.
Yeah.
That's my
Maybe they'll address that in the next movie.
Right, but we can't
a year.
We can't assess
That's the whole point.
the point. Well, we can't and this is sort of that was my question earlier. How much can we assess based on what we hope might happen next time?
Well, and I hate to say it, but like, not that this would happen, but worst case scenario, let's say something happens with the movie and it all crumbles, and then they don't finish making it.
That's not gonna happen.
But yeah,
It's
just
a possibility.
in the world of possibilities, it's all
Let's
entirely
say-
possible.
But let's say
with
let's
a
say something
$1 billion
happens to
budget.
RDJ. Let's say something happens to RDJ.
Okay.
He's one of the only living cast members for the next movie. If it's not completed, are they really gonna pull another?
Yes.
What was it?
Christopher Plummer?
No, Fast and Furious, where it's all CGI in the end.
Sure. Or they'll get a dub in. Yeah.
Oof.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't they?
Just gonna plug
Look at Harry Potter. Did they, just because what's his name died? Did they get a new actor for him? Absolutely. Congrats.
It was early on in the movies, though.
He still died,
Right.
and they replaced him.
It would be
Okay, there's three. Okay, for RDJ being my example, there's 3 Iron Man movies. There's 2 Avengers movies, not including this one, and there's cameos in Homecoming,
Right.
and
Do-
that's
do-
6 movies.
I see what you're saying. If at this point, if something were to happen, I don't think they would. I think they would do some sort of replacement or skip over. You know, when Heath Ledger died, they just rewrote 3.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would stop it, but I do think that in the world of possibility, it is possible for something to happen that where you would maybe not see this next film. But the point is, reviewing based on hopes and dreams and hearsay and is hard to do. So we're focusing on what we got here as best we can. As we can. We're gonna.
If I were like a critic, like a big critic, it would go down.
I do want to point out also from Why Wolf, look at Star Wars. Leia, she died.
CG, young Leia.
Yeah,
I could imagine it working with a high budget film. Or Rogue One, yeah. Anyway, okay, so moving on. Gamora knows the location of the Soul Stone. And she says to Quill,
Kill me.
If time comes and I need you to kill me. I can't tell you why. But I know something that Thanos can't know. And he's like, okay, I'll do that for you. And then she goes, so let's go find Thanos. Why didn't she go with the other fuckers to do other shit?
Yeah, that was kind of stupid.
Thank you! Because they just had to keep it going. And she just had to go and tell him I loved you before she left. And, no. I feel really bad for him. And everyone hated Quill. And I was like, no. She left. She said that mess. He didn't even want to promise her that. For one, he didn't even want to promise her that. Then she kisses him. Then she wants to tell you I love you for the first time when you're about to die. Who does that?
So
Didn't you want me to shoot you in the face?
I'll link this to the other thing then.
That's not fair.
The fact that he pulled the trigger, do you buy that from Quill's character or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah?
He loved her and he was willing to do whatever she wanted.
But anyone would have hesitated for that long.
Oh, for sure.
So
because you can't sit there on your knees having your angry father hold you and say, I love you so much, and then just expect him to shoot you dead in your face. That is awful.
So then, do you buy later on the whole reason that Thanos is able to fulfill his... First of all, a villain winning in a movie I'm down for. Almost across the board.
Yeah.
Watchmen, Empire Strikes Back.
Final Fantasy 6.
Oh shit, I haven't played that one. Good to know. No. I'm well beyond the statute of limitations for that. Spoiler. Well, totally fine. Actually makes me want to play it more. I think there's another one. Anyway, so I dig it. I dig that he did win. But the reason that he does is, there are 2 reasons that he does. Three. One is that they're about to remove the gauntlet from Thanos' hand, and Peter Quill goes crazy and ruins it because he learns that Thanos killed Gamora.
Yeah.
Do you buy that the stakes being so high, with 50% of the universe at stake, that anyone would possibly risk that? Do you buy Quill freaking out and ruining it for him?
Afterwards?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You do buy it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Tell me.
Exactly. Like, he told her that's the first time you ever hear them tell each other they love each other.
You're saying he's still traumatized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he didn't even know what happened. Like, he shot her, he messed with him with the reality, and then just like, whoosh, I'm gonna take her away. And then then Gamora goes, sees her sister, and then she has no choice but to tell him. And then they go, and then push you off the ledge. Like,
I see it like Russian roulette. Like, you don't really want to play, but as soon as you finish pulling the trigger and you're not dead, there's that complete relief and adrenaline that hits your body. So the fact that, Quill was going to shoot her, but then Thanos takes it away from her, from him,
no.
and then takes her. So Quill comes over with, okay, she's actually going to be alive, so maybe we're still going to win this because Gamora can kill Thanos. But then when Thanos is not only alive, has the Soul Stone, and Gamora's not there, Quill obviously lose his shit.
And my little pick here was not that he accepted her death at one point and then went crazy over it later. That wasn't my issue.
Oh, okay.
My issue is that if I lose my cool here when they're seconds away from winning, I can wait to punch him in the face another 10 seconds.
I don't know. I get really.
But it's also.
I can get pushed to the edge.
Yeah.
And when I push to the edge, I will not.
I guess
it's just murder face.
But also at the same time, that was also a manipulation with the stones. So regardless or not, you say you're about to win, all of a sudden he fades to disappearing. Thanks very much. See you later. So it's not even like he was close to dead. He was just using a stone. So that kind of makes that a little bit irrelevant.
Okay, next little bit then.
Oh, let's talk about this real quick. Right after that, he pulled that moon down, you guys. I'm just saying, that was legit.
Oh, yeah. What's the Sephiroth summon?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When he summons a comet, the whole thing in Final Fantasy VII.
And he just grabbed that moon, and he was just like,
that was good shit.
Wow, this is what I needed.
That was good shit. Hey, Mellow Craze. Welcome.
Game guy, that's not a thing.
With a semi-auto.
Real men do not play Russian roulette with a semi-auto.
I actually wrote a sketch.
That's called suicide.
I actually wrote a sketch once about two guys that were going to have white Russians and played Russian roulette, and the dude brings a semi-automatic pistol and the other dude's yelling at him for why that's stupid, and they go back and forth. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I would have done it better. Napper and Longer, hello Shark, welcome in. Okay, so Doctor Strange, you mentioned earlier.
He was good.
He
showed his worth to me this time because his movie was terrible.
No, Cloak shows his worth. Okay.
So
that's absolutely true. I feel like the Cloak got a lot more.
But no, the actor did really good.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Meteor,
yes,
thank you.
that everyone liked
Trexus.
so much that I could care less about.
He cast Meteor. Thanos cast Meteor.
He did really well because I don't personally like him, but I think he did really well.
You're hurting Calvin.
I know, and that's fine because I'm going to hurt a lot of people, and that's okay. But I think he did really well, and he showed his worth, and he showed me what his magic was like. It's not like Harry Potter where you got a wand all the time. His signs and everything was really cool. It was like Naruto and stuff. You know what I mean? For me, it was like anime. I was like, wow, this guy's got his hands going. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
And then everyone really showed their worth. It made you just want to be doing this and stuff.
Mel Cray says, I love Doctor Strange. It's one of my favorite of the Marvel movies. Very interesting perspective.
And this showed him truly being the strongest.
Okay.
Because before in his movie, I was just like, yeah, that guy's cool.
Well,
he's so
fucking mad.
So
in the movie, though.
My heart's broken.
In the movie, in the Doctor Strange movie, he has control of the Time Stone. And in the beginning of this film, he has control of the Time Stone.
Yeah.
And he can utilize the Time Stone to go back in time. And he utilizes it at the end of his movie to face this giant death-bringing Dormammu holy shit entity. And he puts himself in a time loop so he could just try shit over and over and over again. Why not now?
How do we know that's not happened?
I thought he said this has to happen.
He said he did
he
14
said there's only one
million.
outcome.
He said 14,605,000, something like that. Out of 14,605,000 different scenarios, he chose this one because this was the only option for them to win.
So you think that the line where he says
Where he's
sorry,
meditating.
he said, this is in motion. This is all I can do.
I think
You think that he did
See the future?
try a million things.
Oh, he's seen the future.
because he actually
already seen
that's
it.
exactly what he says. He said, I've
This
looked
needs to
through
happen.
all these
That's why Iron
different
Man
time
lives."
loops. I've looked through all these different ways of getting out of this. And there's 14,605 scenarios, something along those lines of a number.
Right.
And he said, because Tony says,
Game go.
out of all of those, how many do we win? And he pauses and he says, 1.
Yep.
And that's it.
And that's why he saved
And that's
Iron
why
Man.
he chose this way.
Okay. So, and mentions this is the end game. That's my theory, too, that everything that happened had to because of what
Infinity Stick.
Strange saw. Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is interesting then, and because I'm going to get into what we're going to expect from the next thing, or what you think will happen from the next one. So, I have one other thing. Do you guys have any problem with the fact that Thor's make the god-killing weapon plot line could have been deleted from the film and make no difference?
Oh my god, no. Like, he was absolutely necessary,
No,
especially
completely.
for the Wakandan battle.
Completely inconsequential.
Like him going to get his weapon, or just Thor in general?
All of it.
So
I don't
didn't
think-
get Stormbreaker. Nothing happened with Groot. They didn't go on their little escapade. They just went on. No, I thought that was detrimental to the story.
I thought it was okay. I don't think they needed all of it.
There's
Like, they needed the part
So, like,
of him
he
getting
goes and he gets the
Stormbreaker,
thing,
but
it doesn't do anything.
yeah.
no, it Nixon,
Like, he took too long.
Pretty good.
Here's the thing.
It took too long.
And
Because,
then he doesn't even hit him in the head. He hits him in the chest.
but here, I think that's why it was detrimental, because Thor's still alive. He can technically go back to the weapon maker, Peter Dinklage's character, and
By the way, great scenes and like all that
Absolutely.
stuff. Like I love the scenes. I'm just saying, like if you're
But
gonna
I
spend
feel-
40 minutes of a film building a thing and go, fuck, it didn't work. Like
But that's what they were trying to.
Yes.
That's another reason
I
I didn't like this movie, because they gave so much building up, and I thought it was detrimental to the story. And then
Well,
he just knocks him in the chest,
And that's the
he's
thing,
like,
it's-
"You should have got me in the head."
it's not-
That's why that snap was so jarring for so many
Well,
people.
it's not, and the thing is, I think it was important because the reason it is important. First off, it's still showing you how strong Thor actually is. He can hold a blast from a star and it can go through him even for a period of time. While he's trying to
I mean,
get
but honestly, like, they
the
didn't
metal
really need to
melted.
show that, like, Homeboy was around in space for, like, a week. Like, yeah, like, that showed me that
He's
he
pretty
was,
fucking strong,
that
right?
showed me
Like
he was
already.
strong enough as
Yeah.
it is. Like, that showed me he is a god. He is able to stay out in space and live out there for a week until a ship came by.
I do
and
have
got
that
him.
general Marvel complaint. Is like I really don't know what can and can't hurt Thor, and I wish that I
Yeah,
did.
and that's the weird part. It's like, yeah, a star can hit him, but it's like he was out in space for like a week and that didn't kill him.
But
Shark, yeah.
but back down to getting Stormbreaker, yeah, it takes a while for Stormbreaker to be made because there are stipulations. Obviously, there were stipulations, and they had to show why it was taking Thor so long to get there. When he got there, he had a big impact on the fight, and then he just misses.
Right, but-
that's the thing. He missed.
But that's my question. Like,
It wasn't a
Stormbreaker
purposeful
is supposed to be even more powerful than Mjolnir.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
And so for me, like, Mjolnir can only be wielded by the great, blah, 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 blah. So Stormbreaker should have more qualities to show it's a better weapon. And so for him to have taken that chest, like,
Right.
hit, for me, the entire, like, acceleration to that point was just jarring. And that's another reason I didn't like it.
I don't personally have a huge problem with the fact that it didn't work because I kind of like it in movies when plans
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
Like they try. I don't. I like that twist. Just from a movie writer's perspective, they're gonna go through this and it fucking didn't work. The thing that I was saying earlier, it didn't work. But the same. I heard complaints on The Last Jedi about a storyline being inconsequential, except that it was. But this is a similar thing. Like, Thanos wins. It doesn't weaken him. He doesn't do it and then die because he was hit at the same time and he gets his wish and dies. He is back at his cabin. Half everyone's dead, and he's like, I guess I'll light up a cigarette and have a Pop-Tart.
And it really didn't even matter whether Thor hit him in the chest or not. Like,
also-
he had already snapped his fingers.
When he snapped his fingers, also, but if you notice, he busted part of the gauntlet doing that.
Yeah, and then he had his thing with Gamora.
Oh, did he?
Did you not notice that?
Did he hit
when he snapped his finger? No, he didn't hit the gauntlet, but when he snapped it to reverse the time or do whatever to not be hit by that, it busted part of the gauntlet.
It hurt him in a certain way
because it makes it. If you also go back and you look at the dwarf, there's another thing for a
it was
gauntlet.
Like a silver cast.
So it's a different cast for the gauntlet, so he could have made the gauntlet improperly. And that's why it got damaged, because you can't damage yourself unless it's perfectly made.
So actually Trexus says what I said, but better.
Yeah.
Like I like what she says, is that there is a build-up because you have to subvert the expectation, so you can't subvert an expectation if you haven't built up for it.
Right.
So this is the hero's entrance. Thank God you're here. Oh fuck, we're really fucked now.
I actually like what Mellowcray said, because his hand, Thanos, when he's without his armor and he's without the gauntlet, his hands hurt, and you can see it
From
because
the
he's
broken
holding
gauntlet.
it. Yeah, and he's like almost curling it like his entire arm's broken, but his chest, where Stormbreaker was, is completely healed. Right?
Yeah.
I hate to do this, but can we talk about how Tom Holland did Dr. 10 of I Don't Want to Go, and he completely did not, that was unscripted?
I don't know what that means.
So when the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who, David Tennant, is about to transition, in the storyline of Doctor Who, the Doctor will inevitably regenerate into a new Doctor. And when David Tennant is about to regenerate, he says, I don't want to go. And it's an iconic line, because I think it's the first time a Doctor has said that, and it's also kind of indicative of like the actor's feelings about the role and stuff like that.
Because it wasn't a part of the script, and they did the same thing. No.
Spider-Man
the same thing with Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Okay.
I don't want to
go. Don't use actors' names. Use.
Okay, sorry. So
doesn't know people.
My thing. Okay, in Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I know David Tennant. I know 10th Doctor. Okay, I know that.
So
fine.
There's that small snippet where he's practically looking at the camera saying, I don't want to go, before he regenerates.
Right.
That was unscripted. Same thing with Tom Holland Spider-Man in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
He's being held by Tony Stark. And he's looking at him and he says, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And he's overwhelmed with pain because spider senses.
I don't think that's why he's overwhelmed with pain. I think it's more he's overwhelmed with pain with he's still an adolescent. He's still a kid, and he's looking up to Tony as a father figure and a leader towards him, and he's disappearing, and Tony's not, and he's saying, I don't want to go.
Right.
And I don't see it
I'm not discrediting that, but I'm saying that's when I got emotional.
Yeah,
because
that was mine too. I do like the idea that maybe his heightened senses, though, like everyone else is like, oh, this is painless,
it's
what's happening, but to him he's like, I don't like, it feels weird.
He says that before too. He says, Mr. Stark,
I don't feel so good. Yeah, that's what Shark said.
Because he does say that, and then that's what makes you feel even worse, because he's like he feels it.
That was my emotional point too. Like the other ones,
I was fine. I was so fine.
Well, actually, the thing was, as people started to disappear, I was like, oh, holy shit, they're actually going to do that.
Yeah.
But then what happened where I was like, oh, no, they're not. And this was where my second movie related thing comes in, which, like, if you took, and I understand they have a storyline and we're going to see this upcoming storyline, but if they had taken like Iron Man and Nat and Drax and Gamora and Loki and stuff and those guys, basically, if they took the opposite of who they took, I would be like, holy shit, I wonder if they're going to come back or not, as opposed to, oh, you took Spider-Man and Black Panther? There's no way you're killing off there's a 0% chance you're killing off your most popular recent characters. Yeah. So I wish that they had played it a little close, a little more guessy game with it.
And everybody else that were the original Avengers, I would have been like, yes.
Right,
this is a good movie.
And now I'm like, oh, dude, who do you think is anybody going to, and then we have that conversation. But now it's like, oh, this is going to be reversed.
Yeah.
Period.
See, and my thing is like, yes, I know it's going to be reversed, and that's not why I didn't like the movie. But for me, majority of my Marvel love is the fact that they can have the serious action scenes, but they now, with all these characters missing, other than Ant-Man, who's going to be our comic relief? Because you're going to have really fucking serious action scenes. But like, Rocket without Groot is like...
No, he's pretty funny. I mean, he's okay. But with
Rocket,
Bradley Cooper.
Rocket didn't always have Groot or Vin Diesel.
But Rocket without Groot, I don't feel would have the same
It's not the same.
It's not going to be. Yeah. And for me, I don't know how I'm going to get through the next movie.
But maybe they're going to
try it does release
to make it not comedic. Like for once,
that's what's going to suck for me.
But for once, it's like I don't want to laugh. Like for once, I don't want to laugh. Like I want to watch this movie. I want to watch people cry. I want to watch people die, like in a Marvel movie. Like I want that. I want it to be I want it to be like the Batman movie.
That's not,
so you're saying you say yes, it is a comic movie. That's correct. But are all comics funny?
Almost.
Or not emotional in the end?
I'm not saying
like people dying. Look at the Batman comics.
I'm not saying it needs to be a comedy, guys. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. But like there needs to be comedic relief for tense moments.
I disagree.
You wanted it.
I mean, that's
during the death scenes, you wanted something to cut through the tension.
That's why my whole thing is I get Captain Marvel's coming. I get because that was the Easter egg at the end.
And you had Samuel Jackson almost cuss.
I
got so excited when we saw Maria and Nick Fury, but having them die, and then only seeing her symbol.
Was not enough for you
good enough for me
to feel hope. You still left with despair.
I am excited for the next movie,
right?
But to have a year to stew in this, it's going to grow in hatred.
I guess
which means that they did their job right as filmmakers, because they're going to make you think about that movie and watch it again, possibly earn their money more. I'm not going to watch it again, but it's making you think about it. And they did their job then,
right?
Technically, y'all are just making me think about it because I told Brie, and Sarah was absolutely right. I think I could have waited. Me personally, I could have waited to watch this movie until part 2 came out.
And then doing back to back and liked it better.
I wouldn't have even seen this movie if it just wasn't really hyped like everyone was making it out to be. Like I said, I had stopped watching Marvel movies because they weren't exciting anymore to me. Like they were just kind of disappointing. Like I wouldn't have watched it until everyone was like, this is such a good movie. Like, it was kind of right there by Star Wars. Like, it even beat Star Wars now. Mm-hmm. Like, then I was like, okay, well, I guess I gotta go see it.
Yeah. So, Mellow Craze mentioned something up there that I liked. Let me get back to it. They did leave the original Avengers, though, and could that have been the point? So, Captain America is there, right? Tony Stark, Iron Man is there.
Yeah.
We have
Bruce Banner.
Black Widow, Bruce Banner, and Hawkeye, right? Like, they're all...
Oh, Hawkeye's not.
Hawkeye's MIA. We don't know if he is or not, right?
So you're saying the reason that essentially everyone that was an original Avenger is still here because it's an Avengers movie? That's what I'm getting out of that.
I'm not sure. It's whatever the point of the script might... That may be a point of the script. But that's
for a moment, too, until Rocket was still there. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to take it back to the originals. And then I was like, but Rocket Raccoon's still there.
Yeah,
and Rocket Raccoon is Guardian of the Galaxy.
Right.
But
that's
why that's what I'm saying.
Our minds go to that.
That's why I was like, oh, yeah, the original Avengers. But then I went back and I was like, oh,
I think it was more like of the Avengers.
Yeah.
They pared back down to the original
maybe it's because they replaced Vision and Scarlet Witch, essentially. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why they left, because they had to take some
there's a bunch of people that haven't even been
because they even kept
yet. Like if you pay attention to the comics, like there's a bunch of people that we
didn't disappear either.
No,
we haven't even seen yet.
So, did you hear that James Gunn confirmed that the final I Am Groot meant Dad when he said I Am Groot to Rocket? Which is super sad, except that I thought that the point of Guardians 2 was that Peter Quill was supposed to be
Dad,
the father figure to Groot, because of him sort of ignoring him through the whole film until the end, where he sits him on his lap and they listen to the music together.
It could be same-sex parents.
Could be. Maybe they're both his dads. Maybe they're all family. That's fine. Trick says, this is an opportunity for unconventional relationships between different characters being outside of their own universe, stuff like that, I guess. Best part of Marvel is seeing Stan Lee cameos.
I loved him on the bus.
Yeah, he was funny.
So,
oh my God, I don't think Peter's best friend gets enough credit in those Spider-Man movies.
Oh yeah.
But he was like, that was so me and you. Like, I thought of you and I was like, Lauren, I needed a distraction. You were like, we're all gonna die. I was like, Lauren.
The slapping of the face and everything. So,
is it time?
Yeah.
We get to do this.
We're running out of time, but I want to know what you think will happen next. Who will stay dead and who will not, and what do you think is going to happen next? I do have a quick Joseph. I read a Twitter thread about his forecasting, and it was similar to the Time Stone thing with of having seen the future. Is that in Joseph's projection, Thanos does not get the appreciation he deserves. He sees the consequences of what he's done, and Thanos himself reverses it.
I hope that the original Avengers die at some point.
Okay.
Captain America will die.
I hope he does. I hope they show Lady Death. I know Spider-Man's gonna come back. And then I want it to be serious. And then I also think Captain Marvel is going to come in, but be way too OP and kind of make the movie not worth it.
That's how she is.
Yeah, but then it's like, what's the point?
Whitney going so dark.
I hope everyone stays dead. I know they won't, though. Yeah.
I just hope, I think Captain America and like Hawkeye and all of them should just like stay away. Like, I just don't think, I think they've done their time and it's like good.
Yeah.
Like, I think they should bring in newer people.
I think that Tony's done his time.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that it's time to pass the Iron Man suit to someone else.
Like, have your baby with Pepper and get on with your life.
I want her to have a family and just be...
maybe not dead, but like, go on and be with
retire.
Pepper. Yeah.
JB doesn't need them to die. I don't need them to die specifically, but I do need consequence. And this is the thing that frustrates me about Doctor Who, is no matter how many times you kill someone, they'll always come back somehow. Yeah. Oh, they're an AI. Oh, they're a memory. Oh, they're whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, there's just no fucking consequence to this whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, I think that Loki stays dead. Heimdall stays dead. Vision stays dead. I think Tony finally sacrifices himself for the good of everyone and for the good of Spider-Man in the next one. I think Cap makes it. I think Tony doesn't. Black Panther comes back. Spider-Man comes back. All the Guardians come back, but Gamora's my 50-50. Because she died before the snap, I think she may be dead, but Gamora's super fucking awesome, and I don't want her to be gone.
Yeah. If my forecast is correct, Gamora stays dead, Nebula and Quill end up coming back, and they have this weird...
Hey, Purple Saint!
This weird, like, oh, we lost somebody we really love, now we love each other type thing. I don't want it to happen, but that's my forecast for that. Vision, I think, is going to stay dead, and in terms of that, Scarlet Witch is going to retire because she can't hold it in herself, because not only, same thing with Quill, not only did she actually kill him, and time got reversed, and then he died on top of that. I think that's going to cause an irreparable rip in her mind, along with, yes, I think Iron Man's going to retire. He's going to try and pass his electronics to either Spider-Man or somebody else and finally have a family. Well, that's my forecast.
The reason that I think Tony's going to die instead of Cap, even though Cap makes more story sense, honestly, because...
He should die.
He's actually dead. But that's why I think...
He's actually already dead.
But that's why I think that they might flip it, is that you're expecting that. And so I think they'll write a different way. Because I think Cap is too good, and I think that's what Tony thinks, is you're too good.
Bucky is actually... I don't say anything. But so...
Yeah, what do you think's going to happen?
Well, there's a lot of stuff to do with the Soul Stone. Now, if you go back to it, and the explosion that happened, the gauntlet broke, and then he went back inside the Soul Stone, and he saw Gamora in there. Gamora's soul. Where did everybody's soul go? Into the Soul Stone. I think that everybody's still alive. It's going to be somehow busting out of the Soul Stone. Okay. And that's with the time reversal, and everybody's gonna come back.
And Purple Saint says T'Challa's sister was working on the Mind Stone.
And yeah, exactly.
And so there could be something there too.
Yep.
And says that Cap needs to die. Yeah. I think that that's right. But if I were just gonna place money, I would think that they.
And
would
I thought, Game Guy, if I'm not wrong, I thought Bucky actually becomes Captain America after Captain America dies. So.
If it's in the newer comic books, I'm pretty sure they pass it on to Falcon.
Yes, Falcon does become Captain America. That's true.
America. And then like something happens and like I don't know, it's just a lot.
There's a huge backstory, so it could be any timeline that you could be referencing. But
right,
Falcon, says Game Guy. But okay, so you think that the Soul Stone specifically is going to be destroyed and bring everyone in?
Which I like that, but I feel like it would only...
Hey, Rachel!
It would only bring back Gamora, because like she's the only... Like, because like Loki
because she was sacrificed for the stone.
Like she was sacrificed for it, as to where like Loki was already like dead. Like he wasn't even around.
I will...
But also, you were missing about Adam... You're not even thinking about Adam Warlock. There are a lot of other people and people that actually can control the gauntlet besides Thanos, because other people can control it and they'll be able to do things with that gauntlet too.
I've got a question because I haven't seen any of the Thor movies.
Sure.
Like individually. I know.
What?
So
It's okay.
Ragnarok's the only one.
I will say it's
I
the
still
only
haven't
good
seen
one.
it. But Loki.
Yeah.
I know Loki is
His brother.
half brother?
Yes,
Half
half-brother.
So does that make Loki
He's
a
a,
demigod or a god?
Yes.
Okay,
He is a
so
god.
technically
he is a god.
Okay, right. So technically, Thor being alive in space for God knows how long, wouldn't Loki
He got murdered.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Right.
From what I understand, it's kind of like Thor. Thor can withstand
out in space
The
for a long
rules, who
time.
knows?
but Thor can withstand a star blast. I would assume Loki can do something similar.
He's a god, but he's not as powerful, and it's also the fact that most of the time he uses his mischievous ways to act like a body double.
Yeah.
And he did not able to do that, so he just that we know of that was shown, that he just straight up fucking murdered him.
Okay, so Loki...
adopted brother. Sorry, not half brother.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not even
related.
Yeah, he's not even related.
Right.
He was stolen off another planet.
Okay, so Loki is.
So Loki's for sure dead.
Yeah.
Like dead.
Right. Okay.
I just wanted to make
Unless
sure.
they do something weird with his godlike powers.
But
Well, because I know Loki is technically gender
Hiddleston
fluid,
says he's dead.
which is why there's
And he's a
other
shapeshifter.
comics. Yeah, there's other comics of him and Thor as ladies,
right.
and so that's why I was asking, because I would love to see them do like a gender bent,
Like a
mid-movie.
regeneration of Thor.
Oh, no. Like in part 2, I would love for Thor to be like, well, this body's now useless to me, and then change into a woman. And then same thing with Loki, except Loki actually just comes back as a woman instead of like, oh, now we're...
The reason I think that would happen is that Chris Hemsworth would have to relinquish the role, and if he was bored with it, maybe. But other than that,
no way he'd give up that role.
That would be tough.
I was just curious.
But it'd be a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jane Foster becomes Thor in the comics. Like her arc just ended, or is about to end.
And
one of those.
Jonathan says, Hiddleston says he's done, so Loki is for sure dead.
Yeah, but RDJ said that he was done a while ago and wasn't.
They're paying
Hugh Jackman.
shit more money.
Hugh Jackman said he was done like 3 movies before he was done. So
all
I
money.
don't.
It's all
whatever
money.
that.
Get money, get paid.
More money.
Tom Hiddleston. There's a lot of Tom Hiddleston love here. Okay, so, yeah, overall, I really did love the movie, and I do want to go see it again. I will rage. I will tear Infinity Wars Part 2, put that thing back where it came from, or so help me, to the ground if Loki comes back. Because
Yeah, same.
I feel like consequence has, if you're going to have any consequence of the film, it has to be at least before the snap, or maybe before, at the Soul Stone sacrifice. And so Heimdall can't come back, and Loki
that would
can't
make
come
no
back. 'Cause
sense.
then
Like, they
I would just
actually
be like,
died
oh,
in that time.
then I would just...
Because he didn't even have the
reason.
time stone then, or
Right,
anything.
and that's why I think Loki and Gamora are
They're
for sure,
dead.
in my
maybe
forecast.
Gamora.
In my
Gamora, I would say
forecast,
maybe.
anybody before Gamora to, I guess, beginning of the movie, anybody who died before Gamora, up to Gamora, is like officially.
Which is like 1 or 2,
Yeah.
and that's sort of what Jonathan said. And Purple Saint never watched the movie, but read the comics. Heimdall is dead for sure. Yeah, I can see. It was Idris Elba, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see him having better things to do.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
Than a bit part in a Thor movie.
I mean,
Maybe not. I will say, though, that this was the first...
Well, Shark puts up a good point.
They've mentioned
Is
death is a
recoverable.
recoverable thing for the Asgard gods.
And he is an Asgard god.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know how.
I guess.
And this sounds really stupid. I don't know
whatever.
how adoption would work as a god. You know, like of
Yeah,
course
do
you
you
could
give them god
He's
juice
not.
when they get
Yeah,
them?
I was like,
Here's
he's
half
not a
of what you
god.
deserve.
Like,
Yeah.
he's not an Asgard god. He's not technically related to Thor in any
Right.
manner.
and that's why I'm like, So,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know
Anyway.
enough
And
about
if
it.
they're,
That's
if
why
they're
I
trying to
asked.
do like with like him actually in like Greek mythology, like he dies. So Thor is the one who like kills him.
Yeah.
This isn't the first Marvel movie that I love, but
But he didn't kill him.
It is the first Marvel movie that made me feel something, like react, you know? And so the movie ending where it did, I totally get why you don't like it and why you would never want to watch it again. But that was exactly where I needed that movie to end. I
thought it
didn't
was
want any
really
hope.
good.
Because if I had any hope, then I would have felt like they backtracked on the effect of what just happened.
Because I felt great like Peter died, my heart was crushed.
Right.
Then we go and we see the big villain sit down and he watched that sunset.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes,
He did exactly.
But I get why you
Yes.
like it, or why you don't like it. I mean,
I
I get needing some ray of sunshine.
Even
in
if I take it back a little bit and say, okay, let's say it ended on this note. One thing that would have tweaked it to make me feel better is we see Thanos. We see Thanos sitting in the sunset and we see him looking. Other than little Gamora saying, was it worth it? And him
He said
saying
no.
that. Yeah. Of course not. But actually seeing him sitting at the sunset and actually seeing him even just a screen of him backside and him crying, or you could just see him unsatisfied with the work he did. I think it would have put it from bad to decent.
That's the thing is they showed him upset, and his upsetness was when he was talking to Gamora. And then they just put him right where he said he was going to be. Just
it was like he conquered his depression of oh God, I just killed all these people and my daughter. And then she just asked me, hey, was it worth it? And I was like,
now he's like,
yeah.
Now he's like, no. And he's just there and he's dealing with it.
I wish.
To me, I thought that idea for the movie though, Thanos came, he saw, he conquered, snapped his fingers, and he watched the sunset. He said exactly what he was going to do.
They had better show Lady Death though. They had better involve her, because if they don't, that movie's pointless.
I think Nebula could do that, but there's no way Spider-Man's dying in the next film. It's just impossible.
They already have the second one coming out after the newest one.
I do like that there's not just a studio reason, but there is a story reason now why Spider-Man's not in Venom, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Which is so...
I don't know how I feel about Bane. Tom Hardy.
No, you're right.
I don't know how I feel about Tom Hardy being Venom.
I'm excited about the Venom movie.
It's gonna be awesome.
Another time.
I'm with you. I like to... I've heard some, not all of it, but I just want to say I love this movie. Love the relationship Thanos and Gamora had. I love the ending. I'm sad they killed Doctor Strange. Hope he comes back because I love him. Yeah, that's true. Okay, the last thing that we do before we call it a night, which we're overtime, is we go to the fan can. If you guys want to add a question to the Gunners fan can, we'll draw one or two at random at the end of a podcast, and we will answer it as best we can. All your random, crazy, stupid, Master Charles, fucked up questions.
I'm a liberal.
Well, you guys did last week. I'm going to let Cal draw one this week.
Right.
So we're going to do two. You can also redeem Nerd Cred and add money to the fan can.
I just want to hold the can.
You can. Oh yeah, hold away. What you got?
I can't read part of this word.
Handwriting.
What's that word?
Winning.
Why is Steve-O afraid of winning PUBG?
Why do you think Steve-O is afraid of winning PUBG? Anybody? Do you have a reason?
You're afraid?
I'm a plebe.
A plebe? You mean a pleb?
Whatever.
I've heard.
All the more reason.
I've heard both.
It's pleb.
I've heard plebe.
Of winning?
Like plebeian. Why would I be afraid of winning?
Plebeian.
Of winning PUBG.
See, Steven's got my back.
He is afraid
I'm
of
always so excited.
Good. That's right. That's right, Bree. I'm not. And
And to
I
me,
have
whether
several.
you lose or
I don't
win,
know,
you're always pretty excited.
Because he's too afraid to use a mouse and keyboard. Because he doesn't know what it's like.
I like that. I like it.
Because hard.
No, I got a better one. Because you want to wait and do it with Sarah.
Oh, that's sweet. If that
You
were
are in a
true.
romantic
If that
mood,
were
girl.
You want some happiness. You're
God forbid I want to be the optimist here.
No shit. This is a role reversal for you today in every respect.
So much romanticism in your life today.
You think you know someone?
Thanks, guys. Apparently, I'm the pessimistic pessimist of the group, and I had no idea.
Well, you're usually into the dark. We're gonna watch a
I'm
movie
so
where.
about the
Do you want to
dark.
go see a movie where half the people die? Normally, you'd be like, shit.
Yes.
Yeah. But when you have such emotional connection through
totally
reading
get you.
and watching,
You gotta get rid of your emotions,
Yeah.
girl. One day. You'll be
I
like
don't
us.
know.
Would you like to
when
volunteer
Harrison
for
Ford
children?
died, you guys,
Emotions.
I bawled for 2
Emotions are good.
days.
I
because I love him with
I told
passion.
Peter, I said, I want to go home, and I don't want to see
When
anybody.
Harrison Ford
Yeah.
died, girl, I know. Don't even huh? I thought we were talking about Harrison Ford. We were just talking
You're
about
talking
Harrison
about
Ford.
Solo. You're not talking about Harrison Ford. I thought you meant Harrison Ford died, and I was like, where the fuck have I been?
Please don't let me know when that
No, Harrison
That's
Ford.
why
Harrison
I
Ford's gonna
freaked
die on
out.
set.
my life will.
I'm calling it now.
Don't text Brie or let Brie know. Just
won't.
let her
I
pretend
want to marry
that.
him. So.
That's what I think they're doing with Sean Connery. I think Sean Connery died 10 years ago, and no one's telling us
Everyone
because we
thinks the
couldn't
same way
handle
about
it.
Avril Lavigne.
Yep.
Still hot.
Avril Lavigne's supposed to be dead?
No, she's still
Probably
hot.
died 10
Still
years
hot.
ago. Who?
She hasn't aged.
Here's the next question. Who is your favorite nerd of all time? You love yourself?
Of course.
I like it. Your favorite nerd is yourself. Who's your favorite nerd, Brie?
I take that back. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What you got?
Felicia Day.
Felicia Day. Very good nerd.
I'm currently on the Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, fantastic nerd.
I'm on the Elon Musk train.
Yeah.
Give me the Hyperloop, bro.
Shit,
I
yeah.
don't know if I have a favorite.
Yeah, you do. You love PewDiePie. You love, like...
Well, okay, I'll say
I bet Tom
Jacksepticeye.
Holland's a nerd.
I bet Tom.
Or Jacksepticeye, yeah.
I like Jacksepticeye, and then who else? Freaking, I don't know if any of y'all watch Funhouse, but I with a soul passion love Bruce Green from Rooster Teeth. Oh,
And I want to make a shout out to Noodlerama because I like low key have a streamer crush on her.
You have a streamer crush on Noodlerama? Very nice.
If you watch it, then
Why Wolf Senpai says Matt Mercer.
Matt
What's
Mercer?
really funny,
Vin Diesel is JB.
what's really funny is I actually know Matt Mercer in real life. He's actually like a friend of mine. Like,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, like he's like every time he goes to con and
even
stuff like
sounds
that.
so impressed. Oh, that's
No,
right.
it's funny.
That's
No,
right.
Matt is one of the funniest
forgot.
dudes ever. Like in real life, he's like funny as fuck, and he's a real genuine dude. We did Iron cosplay with him like
You're welcome.
10 years ago.
You're welcome to think Gutter Nerd Trexus if you want.
See, I was gonna say Markiplier.
Good
but
choice. Matt's a
I follow
cool dude.
him on Tumblr, and I watch like 50, not even seconds of that video, and I'm like, oh my god, I could not stand him in real life.
I told you he's annoying. Jacksepticeye's where it's at.
Oh yeah, dude.
He is bae, man.
My favorite
Even
nerd
dresses
of all
up as
time.
Spider-Man.
I really dig the Game Grumps
Oh, I like them too.
post original douchebag. I can't remember his name, but Danny and Aaron.
Okay.
JonTron. Post JonTron.
Oh, I love JonTron.
I don't like JonTron.
He is so
Just to
cute.
clarify, they're the ones that are like. There's this one video where he's like, Mark Zuckerberg, fucking Mark Zuckerberg.
Yep.
fucking-"
Yeah.
Okay, just making
That's it.
sure.
Why Wolf Senpai is very impressed. that you
Oh,
know
thank
Matt
you.
Mercer.
I'm looking to see if I have the photo still on my phone with him from like A-Con like 3 years ago. For you, Y Wolf. But continue.
Joseph Nova says best part of watching Benedict Cumberbatch policing Holland for spoilers in press junkets. That is funny. Game Guy doesn't like Jacksepticeye because he's only clicking on a video and getting yelled at.
I feel him.
That's why he doesn't like
But
talking
he's so
to me anymore. I'm like,
positive.
Game Guy!
But yeah, I got to meet Noodlerama. Me and Nerdez, we went this weekend and had lunch with some of the good Noodle Gang.
Well, fine.
Way to invite me. Dick.
None of us were invited.
Dick. Way to invite the gutter nerds to come join for lunch.
You do what
I
you
thought we
gotta
were
do,
part of
man.
this, Steven.
You make a great impression,
Wait,
and then you bring
Great
us,
fearless
like, you know
leader,
what I mean?
everybody.
I'm proud of you.
YOLO Steve-O.
Good way to move up in the world.
Steven, I'm low-key butthurt.
I don't even know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
I
Made a mistake. Yes, we know.
Nerdez likes to say that I'm always looking out for numero uno.
Numero
That's what you
uno?
gotta do.
Numbero uno.
Numbero,
Yeah.
okay. Just figured.
Yeah. No, I
Famous over here.
You fucking... You made a mistake.
potentially
I
have
think
made a mistake.
You need the Infinity Gauntlet so you can go back
I
in
can
time
go back in time and
correct
fix that one.
you're gonna have to make a lunch date with us here, buddy.
It's okay. I'm fine. I'm chilling. When you're ready, I will be there for you.
I'm
Steven.
not gonna lie. I would love to meet Noodlerama because I'd be like,
They were all super
Keep
sweet.
stalling 30
Smurf,
minutes from.
I don't know who these people
together.
are, but I would like to meet them.
Crazy Smurf, his fiance Becca, Callie K. Hey Callie K.
I know Hey
and
Kelly K
Noodlerama.
though. I know her
You do know Callie.
way
Yeah,
longer than you fuckers.
that's true. You've known Callie K longer than we have. And it was super fun.
Did you just call me the F word? I'm greatly offended.
Like it's a pleasant way, not like a negative. It's like a not a.
she doesn't
I did
curse,
not like
period.
that.
It's not a negative fucker. It's a good fucker.
No. There is no good meaning to the F word.
Not even like fuckery.
She
My
doesn't.
word.
Calvin, like, bitch is like a cringe word for her. Like, no. She's
Goodness.
a no.
We're in the gutter, okay?
She not. She's like, on the
Whoa.
tip of the
She's
gutter.
straight. She's hanging on like.
She's not. I'm that Titan looking over the wall at you guys. Like, that is me.
I don't know.
She's holding the wall and like her feet are curled up so she won't touch the bottom. She's like, nope, not me.
We're
Well, I will. The next thing that we're gonna try and do is go check out the video game museum. So you guys
we're,
come to
we're
that.
an afterthought now.
You're not an afterthought,
a little bit.
when?
We're now a.
and we haven't made the plan. It's like just in the summer.
Can you try
okay.
on a Saturday
Or
or a
Sunday.
Sunday?
Sundays.
Because Sundays would be better for some of us.
Sunday.
Those don't work for me at all.
Because you got to take off work, God forbid.
Yeah, I don't work Sundays. Come on, Steven.
I got an anime convention to go to.
Smarty Shark says she smiles so much teeth again, she'll just
Yeah, there's no way, Game Guy. We've got...
No, there's a shitload in there. There's just a shitload in there. Next week, we're going to be... It's game night again.
Yay.
So we're going to find a game.
What are we
playing?
doing?
I don't know.
We can make some
Figure
suggestions.
it out this week if you have suggestions, or if you guys have suggestions.
I think I'll be able to do it this time.
It's
think my
about
schedule-
goddamn
I'm not gonna
time
be
you
at
showed
I
up.
have to bring my
But
rain
I will
inventions
be at
back
Anime
down.
Fest.
Steven, let me know that's local to me. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I will. Shark. And yeah. Anybody doing Akon?
I'm going to Anime Fest.
You're
I
going to
might
Anime
go
Fest.
to Akon for the parties. Who knows?
But you
I might go because one of my friends may not...
We'll get
I'm
ratchet.
going as
extra
Hinata.
tickets.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneeze.
But yeah, if you guys have something that you think that we should play
Right
next
on,
week,
Chris.
it should be 4-player plus or more. And we can hit almost any console.
I kind of want to do speedrunners again just because that was so much fun.
Speedrunners is pretty fun, though.
We gotta do something different.
Yeah, I know. It was fun, though.
We could do like
It
a
was
trivia
fun.
or something.
Can
Those
we
are
do
fun.
trivia? That would be interesting.
Or have you
Or
guys ever
the
seen
Jack,
that one
you
game
don't
that
know
it's
Jack.
Jack. You don't know Jack.
or that
You
It's You game on the PlayStation where you have to like take your picture and then you like it's really cool. It's like picture like that. And you watch like clips and
Honestly,
stuff.
I think that would work better because that's not necessarily like, bless you. It's not necessarily
big guy.
like how quickly you
Only when you hold
jam
it.
the controller, stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah,
You got a
blah.
few bless yous.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I didn't know that Game Guy had the power to bless.
No,
Now I'm deaf. I tried to hold the mic over it. So it didn't happen.
And now I'm deaf. You did the best.
Sorry.
Yeah, so join us next week, guys. The next stream is actually going to be Wednesday morning. I'm doing a bonus stream on Wednesday morning to finish Sonic Adventure 2. So if you want to see the ending of Sonic Adventure 2, that'll be Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central. Monday morning retro is moving to Saturdays, and tomorrow I'm going to announce the game I'm going to launch Saturday morning retro with this week. So check us out on social media down there under Cal's left knee.
By the
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're gut nerds on all of those places. And, gosh, I feel like there's something else to be said, which is why I keep stalling. But
we can finish with a shoulder count. You ready?
what's
A
that?
shoulder count?
Yeah, shoulder count. 1, 2, 3. We got 4 right there, everybody. Yeah, it's great. I'm glad to have you here tonight, y'all.
My name is Steven,
Calvin.
Lauren.
Bree.
and we'll see you next week for game night.
Woo!
Bye.